What's up, everybody? I hope you all are having a very blessed and wonderful day. And if not, I do pray and hope that it gets better because you deserve it. I would like to say thank you for stopping by the channel and checking out today's video because it definitely means a lot to me and I do appreciate it. Two things I want to go over before we do get on with the video. If it sounds like I'm a bit under the weather, it's because I kind of am. I'm not really feeling all that great, so please bear with me in that regard. Also, a big milestone. We hit 2,000 subscribers, everyone. This is like my first like freshly new recorded video since we hit that milestone. And that's something that I've been like really trying to work towards for like a good minute now because I would say like what last year, right? I was very upset with myself in terms of how I performed with my channel last year because like I stayed within between 50 to 100 subscribers, and I was going up and down. I was really going nowhere. Like I was stagnant, and I wasn't proud. I wasn't proud of myself, and I was consistently asking what is it I'm not doing? Why am I not getting this and that? And it was clear I wasn't doing the work. I was being lazy. But I've been trying to work on that as much as possible. Like not only just like working on making more consistent videos, but also making more videos like guides and how to's, things that are normally out of my wheelhouse that I don't do on a consistent basis because I don't feel comfortable with them, but I'm starting to now. And it seems like you guys have really been resonating with a lot of the content that I've been making, right? You guys have been showing a lot of love and appreciation and support, and I really can't do anything but thank you all for that. It definitely means a lot that you have, the people that are actually here, not just stopping by, but the people who are, coming by, watching their as many videos as they can, supporting the channel however they can. I appreciate the fact that you guys are choosing to come on this journey with me, and I hope that you will continue to be on this journey with me as we move forward, not just with Midnight Suns, but with other superhero games in the future, like Wolverine, Spider-Man, Suicide Squad, Iron Man, and more, right? But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Q&A section of the video. So we're going to do it the same way we did last time. We're going to start with the Twitter section first, which is going to be quick because I only have like 2 questions there, and then the vast majority are going to come from my community posts over on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. The first question we have here is from Tricks Ridiculous. How do hero combos work with other cards? If one of the 2 heroes have strengthened, does that give the whole card plus 50% damage? What if they do both? Well, sorry, what if they both do? What if Wolverine's next to attacks have lifesteal and you use a Wolverine Hunter combo? Let me explain this in a different fashion, right? I'm gonna explain this with a pair of heroes that I actually did something like this with. So I believe I had Spider-Man and Captain America, and my Spider-Man already had a strengthened effect on him for that turn, so the offense was already increased by 50. Now I played a very specific Captain America card, which I believe was the best defense, which allowed me to turn any damage that I did for like the next few turns or whatever. I could convert all of that damage into block. So if I hit an enemy for 57 with Captain America, that 57 damage can turn into 57 block, and then so on and so forth. Now, with that tying into the hero combo as a whole, right? I have the base hero combo itself. I have the 50% damage boost coming from strengthen, and then I also have best defense working at the same time. So I'm doing around 290 something damage. Captain America then proceeded to get 290 something block off that one card. So yes, both heroes, whatever effects in keywords that they might have triggered at that moment, it could be strengthened, it could be weak, anything, all of that is going to play into the hunters, not the hunters, sorry, all of that is going to play into that pair's combo card. Now moving over to Tano Games. Question, could you clarify quick draws? I noticed that when used on certain enemy types you can gain back cards. Yes, that is true. That's true in 2 scenarios. So there are specific types of enemies that upon KO will grant you a card play back, and then characters like Wolverine and Blade have an effect known as quick, which would let you refund a card play upon killing the enemy, right? If you kill an enemy with a card that has that keyword on it, you get a card played back. So there's multiple different ways to get it back. Like you can get it back through quick. I know Mark, for example, that's a skill of Iron Man's. That's the skill of Iron Man's. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But just to like wrap that up, yes, there are enemies that can give back card plays, but there are also keywords that can do it as well. Okay, so moving over to the community post. First question we have is from Kaiser Moore. How well does Nico fit in the team? She's my favorite character from the previews, but seems like she gets the least playtime in all of the hands-on previews I've watched so far. Your first Q&A video showed the most Nico gameplay I've seen in all the other videos combined. Nico's a very decent character. She's a very great character. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have to show respect where respect is due. Doctor Strange, as of right now, to me, is currently the strongest support in game due to just how versatile that man truly is. But Nico definitely has some strong options in the way of support and damage as well. I know a lot of people aren't really going to be a fan of her randomness, but I would say like the more you play with her and the more you get to tweak with her deck loadout and whatnot, that randomness factor is still going to be there, but you might be able to influence it a bit, right? You might be able to have some control over it, so to say. I know like one of my favorite lineups is Nico, the Hunter, and Iron Man. With the Hunter and Iron Man, I have two specific cards that's meant to not only increase the amount of heroism, it's meant to double the amount of heroism that I currently have, but it's also gonna double the amount of heroism I'm gonna gain over the next 2 turns. And then I can just use Nico to not only feed my heroes with buffs like strengthen and whatnot, but I can also make copies of powerful cards like air superiority. And then now because I have the heroism to use that, I can now use the card, both copies, however many copies of the card Nico was able to make, so on and so forth. So I definitely believe that, she's a decent character, and I feel like people are going to feel the same once they can get their hands on her. Adernus, if you're familiar with Slay the Spire, how different are the mechanical pieces? Is block conserved between turns? And what about drawn cards? Yes, very familiar. If you apply any block onto a hero, as long as that block doesn't disappear, like as long as it doesn't get killed off, then it's gonna transfer over to the next turn. So if Captain Marvel has 87 block and somebody hits you for 50, as long as that whole 87 isn't gone, you're still gonna have it next turn. Same way with the cards. If you didn't play it or if you didn't redraw it, it's still gonna be in your hand come next turn. Next question, Dante Dragon. Does the difficulty increase when you abandon the story quest, i.e. in XCOM, the main quest gets harder and harder when you spend more time developing weapons doing side quests? Is it similar, or is the difficulty set regardless on how many side stuff you're doing in between? It's set regardless. So if you're playing on Heroic 3, your story missions are going to be on Heroic 3, your side missions are going to be on Heroic 3. Everything is the exact same. Next question, Laughing Random. Once I have committed to a character design for the Hunter, are you able to change the Hunter's physical appearance, like facial structure, gender, during the game, or is it locked at game start? So if I'm correct, those 2 specific things are locked in at game start, right? Facial structure and then gender. Those 2 are locked in, but everything else you will be able to change. Everything else, I believe you will be able to change later on. Now, next question, Dark Rider. A lot of recent things I've been reading are saying that the ending character would be either Moonhawk. Sorry, I said Moonhawk. It would be either Moon Knight or the Hulk. What is your percent of possibility for both? 0. And after playing the game, I'm sure you have more insights. I mean, Hulk was revealed as the official character yesterday, so we already kind of know. But the second part of this question is more so, how long is the straightforward gameplay of the story to unlock the last character? Do you progressively unlock the characters as you go, or do you go all at once? So the characters will unlock in a progressive order, right? So as you move throughout the story, you'll get someone in Act 1, you'll get someone in Act 2, you'll get someone in Act 3, so on and so forth. You will have all the characters before you finish the game, however, that I can say. The next question here is from To Blam. Now, do the graphics ever look better than they do in the Abbey? Yes. Yes, they do. Especially in combat. I've very much the voice I've voiced my opinions already on how I feel about the graphics in the Abbey. There are times where they can look great, they can look decent, and then there are times where they can look like they're very unfinished, and like it bugs me. But it is what it is. But to answer to your question, yes, there are times when the graphics do look a lot better than they normally do in the Abbey. Uh, Next up, Brody. What does the trophy and achievement list look like? I'm not sure I can tell you that, right? Because then I feel like that's spoiler territory. I don't know if that information has been released yet. I can say, uh, the trophy list does have a pretty decent size, however, right? It's like in the mid-range area of numbers. It does have a pretty decent size, but I can't talk about exactly what they are because spoilers. Rift Saw. If you KO a marked enemy with a quick attack, does that refund 1 or 2 card plays? It refunds 1, unfortunately. That would be dope. I've had that same thought, but nah, because then it would be broken. It would be broken. You would have played like 5 cards already, and you still have 3 turns, like 3 card plays left. It's no. No, I mean, I wish. Who knows? Maybe in a future update they might change that. I don't know. But as of right now, no. If you play a card to get a card play back, you're only gonna get that singular card play back. Next question from Lumi Pop. Ooh, this is a good question. Who do you think is a better tank/damage dealer? Wolverine with his lifesteal and high chain damage and taunt possibilities, or Captain Marvel? So, right out the gate, Captain Marvel and Wolverine both have some strong taunt options. Wolverine is much better, in my opinion, simply just because of his sustainability, right? As you guys were seeing earlier in the clip, I know Wolverine's passive pretty much revolves around him being able to heal every single time he redraws a card, right? That's not even including his lifesteal and any other healing abilities that might specifically be in the field, right? He does have a decent amount of quick options, which will give you card plays back, and I believe one of my cards specifically has strengthened on it too, right? So like that allows me to make Wolverine stronger for when I'm going after heavier enemies, especially enemies with block. Captain Marvel is decent, but I feel like her damage isn't really as consistent, right? Because she's at her base damage level, and then when she goes binary, her damage gets doubled. But the thing is, her binary form will only last as long as you currently have block inside of that meter. If that block disappears, then no more binary. And it's very it's gonna be very tricky for some people trying to maintain that, because if you're not careful, you can get binary one turn and then you can end up losing it the very next turn because you got like 7 people targeting you and they all tore through that 87 block of yours. So in terms of like consistent damage and more available options, I would say Wolverine. I would definitely say Wolverine at this point. Next question from Galdrick. You start the game over via New Game Plus. Does anything carry over, or do we know? Unfortunately, I am not able to speak on that. But you guys will be able to find out for yourselves in a couple of days, like 2-3 days. But however, I am going to be streaming the game in a couple of days as well. So if you're not in New Game Plus, you can come back in and ask me that question, and then we can talk about it. All right, next up, Skitty Kids. I saw another YouTuber talk about Midnight Suns, and he said that there's an online marketplace. Is this true? Yes. But as you said in your comment, it is offline right now because the game servers were primarily just open to us, like select content creators and reviewers. All of the skins that you guys have been seeing, not just from me, but from other people covering the game, are all of the skins that are going to be in the Legendary Edition. But there's definitely going to be more costumes for the characters in the marketplace. I can't tell you what any of them are because I don't even know myself. So like we're gonna find out together on that front. Next up, Jedi. Do you think we will get Jedi, not Jedi? Do you think we will get a second season pass, and what DLC character excites you besides Deadpool? Out of the 4, Deadpool is like my clear favorite for a lot of reasons actually. Venom I've always been a fan of Venom. My favorite incarnation of him might just be Flash Thompson and Agent Venom. But the last story I remember reading with him was King in Black. I definitely did enjoy that. I believe what Eddie is now he's the god. He's the king of the symbiotes, and Venom was currently with his son Dylan. You know, as they're taking up that mantle now and being the lethal protector. Uh, if there's anyone that excites me more than Deadpool, don't get me wrong, Storm is great. She's wonderful too. But if there's anyone that definitely excites me more, it's Morbius, and that's just because you don't really see him a lot. You don't really see Morbius in a lot of games like that. Like, when was the last game you see Morbius in? There wasn't a mobile game. Like it's been a minute. Now I understand that like his popularity is definitely a bit higher, due to the movie. But we all know what happened like with the movie at this point. Like the movie came out twice just to do bad twice. The meme became bigger than the movie at that point. So I feel like popularity, definitely did play a fair part in him being added on into the roster. But I would say like a massive chunk of it, like 90% of the reason for him being here is simply just because they wanted to shed some light on a character that doesn't really get as much shine as everyone else, but also at the same time paying homage and respect to the originals, because for people that don't know, Morbius was one of the original Midnight Suns. So technically he marks the third original member of the Midnight Suns that we see here in the game. And we have Blade and Johnny Blaze, who's also a character in the game. Strange was not a member of the Midnight Suns until later incarnations. But yeah, I also feel like Morbius is definitely gonna be up there with Blade and Wolverine in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Self sustainability, right? I feel like he's gonna end up being a pseudo damage tank, and I'm excited to see how he's gonna play because that's good. That's gonna be amazing right there. That's gonna be absolutely amazing. But with that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of our video. I hope that you guys have all had a very great time. I hope that I was able to answer. I hope that I was able to give you guys some of the answers that you were looking for. And if you have any more, leave them down in the comments below. And if I can get to them, we'll see what it is I can answer, because I know I can answer a few more things now. And if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll never miss out on any future Midnight Suns related uploads of mine. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.